The war had raged for millennia. Entire galaxies had been torn asunder, civilizations reduced to ash, and star systems had been lost. But nothing in the universe could prepare the inhabitants of the Galactic Union for what was coming. The military officers of the Korathi had seen everything: supernovae, black holes devouring worlds, and fleets of advanced warships larger than planets. But the human soldiers, they were something else entirely. In the Galactic Union's long history, no species had been as universally underestimated as humans. The Korathi general, Zorik Kayal, looked out from the bridge of his flagship, the Tyrant's Embrace. He had ordered the full-scale bombardment of the human planet, Earth, after the humans had made the mistake of intervening in a conflict that didn't concern them. The Korathi, with their millennia of experience in warfare, expected Earth to fall like any other planet in their path. But the humans, they were different. "Status report, Commander," Zorik growled, his voice grating like metal scraping against stone. The commander, a tall, slender Korathi, his purple skin glowing faintly in the dim light of the bridge, turned to him with a hesitant expression. "General, the bombardment has been effective. Earth's cities are in ruins, and their major defenses have been neutralized. However, there are unexpected reports of human resistance, an unyielding one." Zorik's mandibles twitched. "Resistance? You speak of small pockets of fighters, I assume? Incompetent, primitive creatures with no chance against us?" "Not exactly, sir. We've encountered unexpected tactics. They seem to have adapted to every strategy we've employed." The commander hesitated, clearly struggling to explain. "They're soldiers. They fight without fear, without hesitation. And their weapons, they're unlike anything we've encountered." Zorik's eyes narrowed. His species had seen countless wars, faced enemies of unimaginable power, but nothing had ever shaken him like this. The human soldiers were not just defending their home, they were becoming a force that could not be broken. And worse still, their resolve seemed to grow stronger with each defeat. "They're nothing but animals, desperate to protect their territory." "The war is already won," Zorik muttered, more to himself than to anyone else. But even as he said the words, doubt crept into his mind. The battlefield was chaos. Explosions rained down from every direction, and the skies above Earth were dark with the debris of shattered ships. Below, the surviving human soldiers dug in, determined to protect what remained of their planet. Among them, Lieutenant John Harris stood tall, his face smeared with dirt and sweat, a look of grim determination in his eyes. His helmet, dented from the countless close calls, had a single word painted on it, a word that had become a symbol of defiance, hope. "We hold this line. We don't give them an inch," Harris growled to his squad. His voice was steady, though the weight of the situation hung heavily on his shoulders. They had lost contact with most of the other human forces, their allies scattered or destroyed. But this line, this place, was their last stand. The Korathi forces had underestimated them at first, but now humanity's true potential was being revealed. The human capacity to adapt, to fight through possible odds, had become a living nightmare for the Korathi. Every tactic, every weapon the Korathi used, the humans found a countermeasure, and the Korathi couldn't understand it. On the Tyrant's Embrace, Zorik Kayal had seen enough. The Korathi fleet had suffered heavy losses, their invincible warships shattered by the humans' ingenuity. The humans didn't fight like any species the Korathi had ever encountered. Their desperation gave them strength. Their will to survive, to protect their home, made them unstoppable. "Commander, send a message to the leaders of the Galactic Union," Zorik barked. "Tell them we cannot defeat the humans. Their will is unlike anything we've ever faced. We must end this war before it's too late." The commander blinked in shock. "But sir, if we stop now, we risk facing the wrath of the Union. The humans will never stop fighting." Zorik stood silent for a moment, his eyes flicking to the massive view screen that showed the ongoing destruction below. Then, with a rare moment of vulnerability, he whispered, "We cannot stop them. Not with force. The humans are too unpredictable." Back on Earth, Lieutenant Harris and his squad fought their way through the ruins of a once thriving city. The Karawathi had underestimated human resolve, but humanity had learned quickly. From guerrilla tactics to improvised weaponry, every human soldier had become a master of survival. "We can do this," Harris said, his voice steady. "We hold the line for as long as we have to. They'll learn that humanity doesn't bend." The squad nodded, their faces set in determined expressions. Behind them, the Karawathi forces were slowly retreating, the tide of battle turning. The humans had forced them into a stalemate, a desperate fight for survival. But humanity's spirit had never been more unbreakable. In the command center of the Karawathi flagship, Zorik Kyle stood silent as he watched the messages flooding in from his generals. The humans had taken their victory, and the Karawathi forces were in retreat. The final message, sent by the leader of the Galactic Union, was a simple plea: "Please, keep humans out of this war. We cannot afford to lose them." Zorik stared at the message, his mind racing. The Galactic Union had never before pleaded for a ceasefire, not even in the face of total defeat. But against humanity, the Union had seen the impossible, an enemy who refused to submit, who fought with a ferocity beyond any they had ever known. And for the first time in his life, Zorik Kyle understood what the Galactic Union had feared. Humanity was not just another species. They were a force of nature, unrelenting, adaptable, and dangerous. They had turned the tide of the war in their favor, not with advanced technology, but with their sheer will to survive. In that moment, Zorik Kyle realized one undeniable truth: the humans had won. And the war was over. The Karawathi general, once so sure of his victory, now stood at the edge of a galaxy that had been irrevocably changed. The humans had proven what they were capable of, and no one could ever keep them out of this war again.